So, good morning. Today we'll be covering transaction analysis and Johari window in our fourth module, which is organizational culture and climate. So, let's get started. So, we'll understand as to what is transaction analysis. So, the agenda for today is that we'll be understanding the transaction analysis, its definition, and then we'll have a look at what Johari window is. How did the model came into existence, and what is the utility of Johari window, and what does it actually achieve in an organizational setup. So, Eric Berne is the father of transaction analysis. So he was the person who actually went on to give the definition of transaction analysis, and he was the one who actually started it. So transaction analysis was developed by Eric Berne as an advancement of ideas of Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, as you know, he had given that idea of ego in personality. Uh, so he basically tried to make the understanding more clear about a person, about his self, as to how uh, you know person's one-third personality is only revealed to the public, and two-third of it remains uh, undercover, just like an iceberg. That iceberg, when it floats on the water, only one-third part is visible, and two-third remains underneath the water. So this is what Sigmund Freud has told. So the visible part is something which is there to be perceived by the world, and the invisible part is the one that is the prehistoric, memories, or all the experiences that the person has gathered. That, if given the right opportunity, kind of surfaces, right? So this thing we have already covered in the second module. That is ID, ego, and super ego. And as you know, the ID is the prehistoric self of a person, and that is there in his memory or in his personality. And then ego is something in between ID and super ego, which is a practical approach to life that helps a person to survive in situation. And then there is super ego, which is more or less morality, which tells a person whether something is right or wrong. So Eric Berne was actually uh, the one who had actually forwarded this theory of Sigmund Freud. And Berne believed that we developed three basic sets of behavior, which he described as parent, adult, and child, and these were found by childhood experiences of being parented. So, whatever we have learned as a child, that has a very great influence. So whatever you are being taught by your parents or by your elders while you are a child, that has a very long lasting effect on your personality and the way in which you transact with other people. Then there are also certain situations in which you end up copying the behavior of your parents. So that is also visible when you transact or interact with other people. And the third one is, but when you transact or interact with other people, there is something called the adult side of your personality that is visible, and it's totally based on your discretion. कभी कभी आप जब लोगों से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं तो आप उन सब चीजों के इन्फ्लुएंस में होते हैं जो आपके साथ चाइल्डहुड में आपको सिखाई गई कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है, तो उसका इन्फ्लुएंस रहता है। दूसरा, जैसे पेरेंट्स को आपने ऑब्जर्व किया कि आपके पेरेंट्स कैसे इंटरेक्ट करते हैं दूसरों से, उसका उस पर असर रहता है। और तीसरा, आप एज एन एडल्ट कभी कभी आप डिस्क्रिप्शन अपना भी यूज करते हैं और तो उस तरह लोगों के साथ इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, रिएक्ट करते हैं इन सोशल ट्रांजैक्शंस। सो as a consequence, sometimes we find ourselves playing back our parents' attitude or a childhood attitude when communicating with others. So unknowingly, we when we interact with other people, we sometimes display the teachings or the learnings of our childhood, or we sometimes end up copying the style of our parents in which they transacted with other people. So this is actually what is explained in transactional analysis. So now to simplify it, when a person interacts, there is a social transaction in which one person responds to another that helps them to improve interpersonal communication or relationship. Right. So this is called transactional analysis. So the way in which a person in social interaction interacts with other person, and that helps him or her to increase the communication or relationship. This is called transaction analysis, or in simpler terms, transactions refer to the communication exchanges between people, and it involves how two persons uh, respond or communicate with each other. Transactions, social transactions in which two or more people interact with each other. So how do they do it? How do they go about it? Is covered in transaction analysis. Now, this transaction analysis says that actually there are three ego states. So according to Eric Berne, each person is made up of three alter egos. That is, his egos, which are reflected in three forms that involved in the that is shown and are involved in transactions with other people. First one is called the parent ego, as you can see from the slide. First one is the parent's ego, and second is adult ego, and the third is child ego. Now let's understand what these are one by one. So parent ego. A parent ego is a state that contains attitude and behaviors that are observed and copied from parents and caretakers and other people who have had an influence on our life. तो जब हम लोगों से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं तो एक जो ईगो जिसका असर हमारे बिहेवियर पे होता है और उस इंटरेक्शन में दिखता है, वो एक तो सबसे पहली होती है पेरेंट ईगो. So child actually observes his parents and later on in his life tries to copy whatever his observations were while he was young, and this is exactly what is called as parent ego. So therefore you have seen that parents जो होते हैं वो काफी they are very very careful as to how to behave in front of their children, because ultimately the children will end up copying them in their adult life whenever they are doing transactions with other people. So this ego is called parent ego. Now the second one is called adult ego. These are a set of behaviors or thoughts and feelings which are direct response to here and now. So there are certain behaviors which is done on the spur of the moment. And as an adult, you decide or you have the discretion कि हम कैसे situations को or people को react करें. So this is called adult ego, and this is not copied from your parents or your childhood figure. So this is the second one, and it's called adult ego. And the third one is called child ego. Now this is this plays a very important role in the way in which people behave, or they have they react to certain situations, because as children they've had some experiences, and that kind of goes into their memory, and this reflects when they try to interact with other people. So childhood memories or feelings or emotions, or the set of data that is stored in a person's memory, also has an impact on the way a person interacts or reacts with other people. The child ego state plays on the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that were experienced by a person in his childhood. तो जो हमने हमारे चाइल्डहुड एक्सपीरियंसेस होते हैं वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं जब हम और लोगों के साथ इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, तो वो एक्सपीरियंस भी दे आल्सो कम इनटू प्ले. So the three ego states that are defined by Eric Berne in transaction analysis are: first is parent ego, second is adult ego, and third is child ego. Parent ego is, all those experiences that we have observed or taken from our parents or guardians or elders of a family when we were young. तो जो भी हमारे घर में बड़े बड़े बूढ़े होते हैं, वो जिस तरह लोगों से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, तो उनका भी इम्पैक्ट हमारे इंटरेक्शंस पे आता है जब हम बड़े होते हैं और लोगों से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं. तो उसे कहते हैं पेरेंट ईगो. और दूसरी होती है अडल्ट ईगो. ये ऑन द स्पर ऑफ द मोमेंट एक अडल्ट डिसाइड करता है कि कैसे सिचुएशन से रिएक्ट करना है और कैसे लोगों से इंटरेक्ट करना है. दिस इज कॉल्ड अडल्ट ईगो, एंड इट इज नॉट copied from either parent ego or child ego. Child ego is the one that is a database of experiences. एक experiences का पूरा एक खजान होती है कि हमने जब बचपन में जो हमारे experiences थे, तो उन experience के आधार पे हम लोगों के साथ interact करते हैं. So this is called as child ego. Now, types of transactions. So there are three types of transaction. First is complementary transactions. When the receiver of the message responds the message in the same ego state as he receives it, such is called complementary transaction or parallel transaction. So when the receiver of the message responds the message in the same ego state, जिस ego state में एक receiver को कोई message मिला और वो उसी ही लहजे में उसको respond करता है, तो उसे कहते हैं complementary transaction. Non-complementary transaction, when the receiver of the message responds the message with a different ego state, then the ego state that he receives the message, such transaction is non-complementary transaction. अब मान लीजिए एक ईगो स्टेट में उसको मैसेज मिला लेकिन वो दूसरे ईगो स्टेट उसका रिस्पॉन्स कर रहा है, तो उसे कहते हैं नॉन कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री. एंड अल्टीरियर ट्रांजैक्शन. An ulterior transaction is two messages are conveyed at the same time. One of these is a social level message, the other one is psychological level message. Right. So अब मान लीजिए एक होता है कि सोशल लेवल मैसेज है कि सोशल अकॉर्डिंग्स के कॉन्ग्रुएंसी के आधार पे, और दूसरा होता है साइकोलॉजिकल लेवल का मैसेज का. तो इसे कहते हैं अल्टीरियर ट्रांजैक्शन. So there are three kind of transaction as per transaction analysis. First is complementary transaction, second is non-complementary, and third is ulterior transaction. So इसका क्या रहता है कि in transaction analysis, actually it helps you to improve your interpersonal or intergroup relationship and understand how a person will react to certain situations based on his childhood experiences or his experiences or teaching of his parents while he was young, or how a person responds as an adult on the spur of a moment. So this is an explanation given by Eric Berne. Now coming on to the next topic, which is Johari window, और जिसे हम कहते हैं a model that is useful for self awareness. कि इस मॉडल से, जोहारी विंडो से, एक तो हमको अपने बारे में पता चलता है, और दूसरा ये मॉडल यूज किया जाता है एक ग्रुप के बीच में, ताकि वो लोग एक दूसरे के साथ और अच्छी तरह काम कर सके, उनके बीच का ट्रांजैक्शन जो है वो और इम्प्रूव हो. तो जोहारी विंडो मॉडल इज अ सिंपल and useful tool for illustrating and improving self-awareness and mutual understanding between individuals within a group. So as you know that first of all you have to deal with yourself, that is your personality, your perception, and then there is something called group behavior. तो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सेटअप के अंदर you have to first of all understand yourself why you are behaving in such a way, and दूसरा you have to understand how people in group interact with each other. So Johari window actually is a model which is useful for creating self awareness, कि आप अपने आप को और अच्छी तरह पहचाने, और इससे जो इंटर ग्रुप वर्किंग है वो भी इम्प्रूव हो, और लोगों के बीच में जो ट्रांजैक्शन है वो सिंपलर हो, और लोग अच्छी तरह एज अ ग्रुप काम कर सकें. So Johari window model can also be used to assess and improve groups in relationship with other groups. तो कैसे लोग आपस में काम करें मिलजुल के, एक दूसरे को समझ के, तो वो ये मॉडल हेल्प करता है. और दूसरा, अगर कुछ ग्रुप्स आपस में इंटरेक्ट करते हैं इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल सेटअप, तो वो भी अच्छी तरह से काम कर सकें, तो जोहारी विंडो जो है वो इसमें मदद करता है. तो जोहारी विंडो मॉडल जो है वो कैसे डेवलप हुआ हम देखते हैं कि द फाउंडर्स of Johari window was American psychologists Joseph Luft and Harry Inningham in 1955. तो ये यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलिफोर्निया से थे, and these were psychologists. There were two psychologists, Joseph Luft and Harry Inningham, और उन्होंने ये मॉडल डेवलप किया था 1955 में. And ये जो the model was published in the proceedings of the Western Training Laboratory in the group developed by UCLA, which is University of California in Los Angeles, Extension Office 1955, and later expanded by Joseph Luft. तो ये जो मॉडल है, क्योंकि ये दो साइकोलॉजिस्ट ने डेवलप किया, जोसेफ लुफ्ट एंड हैरी इनिग्रम इन 1955. तो इसी मॉडल को जो हैरी कहते हैं, जिसमें कि लुफ्ट, जोसेफ लुफ्ट का पहला नाम ले लिया गया जो एंड हैरी इनिग्राम का तो नाम था वो इसमें इंक्लूड किया एज हैरी. सो देयरफॉर इट्स कॉल्ड जो हैरी विंडो, राइट? एंड इट वाज डेवलप्ड बाय साइकोलॉजिस्ट who belong to the University of California. Now, Luft and Ingram called their Johari window model as Johari, as I've explained you, after combining their first names. So, उन्होंने अपने first name को combine किया, Joe and Harry, and जो पहला publication था उनका पेपर, जो रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश हुआ था इस मॉडल के ऊपर, it was called as Joe Harry. So that's how the name came into existence. So इसका इन्फ्लुएंस क्या है? इन टुडे द जोहारी मॉडल इज स्पेशली रेलेवेंट ड्यू टू मॉडर्न एम्फेसिस ऑन सॉफ्ट स्किल्स, बिहेवियर, एम्पैथी, इंटरग्रुप डेवलपमेंट, इंटरपर्सनल डेवलपमेंट. आज की डेट में जो भी ग्रुप इंटरेक्शंस होते हैं और जो भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर चीजें हैं, उनमें सॉफ्ट स्किल्स के ऊपर, इंटरपर्सनल बिहेवियर के ऊपर, और एम्पैथी इज हाउ you perceive other people's problem, how do you sympathize with them, can you be in their shoes and understand their pains. तो ये सब चीजें आज की डेट में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो गई हैं कि ग्रुप, इंटरग्रुप डेवलपमेंट, इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप, कोऑपरेशन अमंग पीपल, तो इंटरपर्सनल डेवलपमेंट. तो ये सारी चीजें जो है वो इस मॉडल के थ्रू बहुत अच्छी तरह से आपको समझ में आती है, और आप इस मॉडल के थ्रू उसको इम्प्लीमेंट भी कर सकते हैं. So these are very, very relevant and important in current day scenario in an organizational setup. So there are emphasis on soft skills. Now, soft skills are human skills, which actually shows the training or the refinement of a person, how people can interact with each other and get things done, and their behavior, their empathy, that is their EQ level. आजकल जो HR वाले हैं वो IQ से ज्यादा EQ पे ध्यान दे रहे हैं, क्योंकि one has to take care of your one's employees, one's group, and a group can function only well when you have good feelings about each other. You're able to appreciate each other's say problems. You're able to accommodate each other. So the workplace requires all these things, and then the workplace also requires cooperation among team members. So when a person joins an organization, he's an add-on. There's already a team that is there. So a person needs to adjust to the scenario. And in this, all these things, his behavior, his cooperation, and the way he transacts with other people, that comes into play, and that becomes very important. On the base of this only, a person's perception is formed in an organization, and people always are given tasks in a group. So how a person is able to adjust in a group, how people are able to do work in a group becomes also very important. तो आज की डेट में इसीलिए जोहारी विंडो का जो मॉडल है, इट हैज बिकम वेरी वेरी रेलेवेंट. नाउ द यूज ऑफ जोहारी मॉडल, द जोहारी विंडो सून became a widely used model for understanding and training self-awareness, personal development, improving communications, interpersonal relationship, group dynamics, team development, and intergroup relationships. तो इस मॉडल को यूज करके सबसे पहले तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के अंदर सेल्फ अवेयरनेस के लिए यूज किया गया कि पीपल शुड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अंडरस्टैंड देमसेल्फ, एंड देन इट वाज आल्सो वाइडली यूज्ड फॉर पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट. इससे व्यक्ति को अपने बारे में पता चलता है, उन एस्पेक्ट्स के बारे में भी जो अभी तक उसको वो अवेयर नहीं था. देन इससे क्या होता है कि जितना व्यक्ति अपने बारे में लोगों को बताता है तो इंटर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल कम्युनिकेशन और स्ट्रांग होते हैं, और जब कम्युनिकेशन स्ट्रांग होते हैं तो इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप्स, जो लोगों के आपस में ग्रुप्स में रिलेशनशिप्स है वो स्ट्रांग होती हैं. इससे क्या होता है कि ग्रुप में जो काम दिया जाता है, टास्क दिए जाते हैं और अच्छी तरह से होते हैं, और ग्रुप एफिशिएंसी इंप्रूव होती है, टीम डेवलपमेंट होता है, पीपल आर एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई देमसेल्व्स विद अदर पीपल सेम वर्किंग फॉर द सेम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एंड इंटर ग्रुप रिलेशनशिप्स डेवलप. तो इसकी यूटिलिटी ऐसी है कि इससे सेल्फ अवेयरनेस भी डेवलप होती है और इंटर ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशंस और ट्रांजैक्शंस भी डेवलप होते हैं, एंड इट इज वेरी वेरी यूजफुल इन प्रमोटिंग टीम बिहेवियर, राइट? So what actually this model represents? So this Johari model is also referred to as a disclosure or feedback model for self-awareness. So and by some people an information processing tool. So Johari window जो होता है वो एक प्रकार का सेल्फ अवेयरनेस मॉडल है कि एक व्यक्ति को अपने पर्सनैलिटी के सारे एस्पेक्ट्स के बारे में पता चलता है कि वो भी एस्पेक्ट्स जो अभी तक उसको हो सकता है कि अपनी पर्सनैलिटी के बारे में नहीं मालूम हो. इससे उसकी सेल्फ अवेयरनेस या सेल्फ अंडरस्टैंडिंग और डेवलप होती है. वो अपने आप को अच्छी तरह और समझ सकता है और अपने एक्शंस को कंट्रोल कर सकता है, और इससे उसको इंफॉर्मेशन भी मिलती है थ्रू अ फीडबैक सिस्टम फ्रॉम अ ग्रुप, जो उसको अपने लिए बहुत यूजफुल महसूस होती है और उससे वो अपने आप को इम्प्रूव कर सकता है. Johari window actually represents information, feelings, and experiences, views, and then attitudes, skills, intentions, motivation, etc. within or about a person in relationship to their group from 4 perspectives. तो इसमें क्योंकि जोहारी विंडो में 4 क्वाड्रेंट्स है, तो इसको एक व्यक्ति को अपने बारे में 4 तरीके से पता चलता है थ्रू ग्रुप इंटरैक्शंस एंड थ्रू अ फीडबैक सिस्टम, एंड दैट हेल्प्स हिम टू इंप्रूव हिज ट्रांजैक्शंस with other people, and ultimately it leads to stronger group interactions and interrelationships that is beneficial for the organization. So let's see what are the areas of the model. The 4 Johari window perspective are called regions or quadrants. तो इसमें जैसे मैं आपको डायग्राम दिखाता हूँ, there are 4 quadrants. These quadrants are called as open, then hidden, and then blind and unknown. So ये जो लेफ्ट वाले क्वाड्रेंट्स हैं ओपन एंड हिडन, ये 2 क्वाड्रेंट्स हैं, और जो राइट वाले जो क्वाड्रेंट्स हैं वो भी 2 क्वाड्रेंट हैं. तो लेफ्ट वाले जो क्वाड्रेंट्स हैं ओपन एंड हिडन, इसमें व्यक्ति के बारे में है कि वो अपने बारे में कुछ चीजें जो होती हैं उसको भी मालूम रहती है, और सामने वाले जो इनसे इंटरेक्ट करते हैं उनको भी मालूम रहती है. और ये जो हिडन वाला क्वाड्रेंट है, इसके अंदर कुछ ऐसी चीजें होती हैं जो उस व्यक्ति को ही मालूम होती हैं, बट इट इज हिडन फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड, सो अदर पीपल आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट देयर एग्जिस्टेंस. और जो राइट में चीजें हैं वो चीजें होती हैं अननोन जोन. तो वो चीजें वो उसको खुद भी मालूम नहीं रहती हैं, और लेकिन दूसरों को मालूम होती है. और जो अननोन है, टोटल पहली जो ब्लाइंड है, वो उसको खुद नहीं मालूम लेकिन दूसरों को मालूम है, और अननोन जो क्वाड्रेंट है वो ना उसको मालूम है ना दूसरे लोगों को मालूम. सो लेट्स गेट बैक टू अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट दीज आर. सो these are the areas or quadrants of Johari model. or Johari window. So the four Johari window perspectives are called as regions or areas or quadrants, and which are known and hidden and blind and unknown. So known, hidden, blind, unknown. So these are the four quadrants. So each of these regions contains and represents the information, feelings, and motivation known about that person. तो जो चीजें हैं, जैसे फीलिंग्स हो गई, मोटिवेशंस हो गई, बिहेवियर्स हो गए, तो या तो वो उस व्यक्ति को मालूम होंगे और सबको मालूम होंगे, तो उसको भी मालूम है कि ये सारे बिहेवियर्स उसके अंदर हैं, ये फीलिंग्स, स्किल्स वगैरह सब हैं, और उसको भी मालूम है और दूसरों को भी मालूम है, तो वो ओपन वाले क्वाड्रेंट में आ जाता है, नोन वाले में. सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ वेदर द इंफॉर्मेशन इज नोन और अननोन बाय द पर्सन. और दूसरा कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जो उसको मालूम नहीं है पर लोगों को मालूम है, तो ये हो जाता है हिडन वाला क्वाड्रेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल, person who is doing some public speaking, he's always touching his hair, or a person who is speaking to other people is having a he's not having a proper eye contact. So this is visible to the person whom a person is interacting with, but the person might himself not be aware. तो ऐसी चीजें जिसके बारे में व्यक्ति खुद नहीं जानता पर वो लोगों को दिखती है, तो वो हिडन एरिया में आ जाती है. तो ये हो गया कि फर्स्ट एरिया जो है वो ओपन है, इसमें व्यक्ति को अपने बारे में भी मालूम है और बाकी लोगों को भी मालूम है कि ये चीजें उसकी पर्सनैलिटी में है, उसके बिहेवियर में. और दूसरा जो है वो हिडन वाला एरिया है, उसके अंदर उसको नहीं मालूम लेकिन बाकी लोगों को उसके इंट्रैक्शंस में दिखता है, जैसे कि एंगर इश्यूज हो सकते हैं, हो सकता है कि उसका आई कांटेक्ट प्रॉपर ना हो जब वो दूसरों से बात कर रहा है, या फिर वो जब public speaking करता है तो he makes some involuntary movements that he himself is not able to perceive, but the people who are looking at him are able to perceive. So this comes under hidden. So this is something that is informations, feelings, motivations that are known to a person in terms of whether the information is known. That if it's known, it comes under open category, that is known for the person and also the people interacting with him. And there is something which is unknown to the person, that is other people are able to make out those feelings, motivations or informations in that person, but the person himself is not aware. So it comes under hidden quadrant or the second quadrant, right? So ये अगर हम ग्रुप के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें तो ऐसी चीजें हैं जो कि लोगों को एक व्यक्ति के बारे में मालूम है, वो ओपन क्वाड्रेंट में आती है, और लेकिन वो चीजें उस व्यक्ति को भी मालूम है तो ओपन क्वाड्रेंट में आ गई. लेकिन हिडन में इसलिए आती है क्योंकि अननोन में इसलिए आती है कि उसको मालूम है और दूसरों को नहीं मालूम. Johari windows 4 quadrant. So what is known by the person about himself and is also known by others is an open area. This is open self or free area or free self. तो जो पहला क्वाड्रेंट है which is the open quadrant, तो इसमें there are things which are known to the person and also known to others. तो जैसे कि आपका नाम है तो आपको भी मालूम है, दूसरे को भी मालूम, तो इट कम्स अंडर ओपन क्वाड्रेंट, है ना. देन ऐसी चीजें जो बाकी की, यू आर वेरी गुड communicator or you are a very good presenter, so that is also known to yourself, and you and other people can also observe it. So this is something which is an open secret कि आपको भी मालूम है, उनको भी मालूम है. So it comes under the green quadrant, which is open quadrant. This quadrant is also called as open area, या फिर open self or free area or free self or the arena. Second is unknown by the person for himself, but which is known to others. It is called the blind area. So blind area is just like a when you drive a car, there's a blind area that you are not able to see, but then other people are able to see. So likewise, this yellow color area is called blind area, in which there's information that is owned by other persons, but the person himself is not aware. तो ऐसी चीजें जो बाकी लोगों को दिखती हैं लेकिन आपको नहीं मालूम, वो सब ब्लाइंड में आ जाती है. जैसे कि आप गाड़ी चलाते हैं तो कुछ ब्लाइंड स्पॉट्स होते हैं, तो ये क्या चीजें हो सकती हैं, जैसे कि व्हेन यू आर डूइंग पब्लिक स्पीकिंग, तो यू आर टचिंग योर हेयर और मेकिंग इनवॉलंटरी बॉडी मूवमेंट्स, तो you are not able to perceive it yourself, but people who are looking at you are able to perceive it. Or for example, uh, when you are talking to people, you are not maintaining a proper eye contact. There's a wavering look in your eyes. So that is not known to you, but people who will interview you or who will interact with you will know it. तो ऐसी चीजें जो आपको नहीं मालूम अपनी पर्सनैलिटी के बारे में, लेकिन दूसरों को मालूम है, तो वो ब्लाइंड एरिया में आ जाती है. ये एंगर इश्यूज भी हो सकते हैं कि सपोज यू लूज एंगर्स टू यू लूज योर temperament quite too often. So this is also something which is observable by public, but you are not aware about it. So it will come under blind area or blind spot. This is visible in the second quadrant. It is not known to self, but known to other, right? And the third quadrant is hidden. What the person knows about himself, but others do not, is called hidden self, or avoided area, or avoided self, or facade. So facade is actually something which is not known by other people about your personality, and but it is known, but it is well known to you, right? So people might having some trouble at home, so you know about it, but you do not like to reveal it to other people. So that will come under this blue category. It is called hidden, something which you will hide purposely from other people. Other people will not be knowing about it, about you, but you will be aware. So what the person knows about himself or herself, and other people do not. So it is called hidden area. Yeah, hidden self, yeah, avoided area, yeah, avoided self, or a facade. So this comes under hidden area. So first one is open, second one is known as blind, and third one is called hidden, and the fourth one is something which a person which the person is not aware, and also other people are not aware. So this is called the unknown. Unknown is depicted in red. ये एरिया वो एरिया होता है जिसमें कि व्यक्ति अपनी स्किल्स के बारे में, अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन के बारे में खुद भी सेल्फ अवेयर नहीं है और बाकी लोगों को भी नहीं मालूम, राइट? तो ये 4 क्वाड्रेंट्स हैं जो हैरी विंडो पे. अब इसमें होता ये है कि जो पहला क्वाड्रेंट है उसको हम लोग हॉरिजॉन्टली एक्सटेंड करने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो इसमें इफ यू हैव द राइट काइंड ऑफ पीपल इन द राइट काइंड ऑफ ग्रुप, सो there are aspects of your personality which you can improve by taking feedback from other people. So if the person's intentions are right and he's giving you a feedback about your personality about which you yourself are not aware, then it will help you to improve your personality if you take it in the right spirit, right? तो अगर आपका ग्रुप में जो है लोग वो बहुत ही ऑब्जेक्टिवली आपको आपका फीडबैक देते हैं और उस फीडबैक को आप पॉजिटिवली लेते हो, तो आपका ये जो पहला क्वाड्रेंट है ओपन, वो येलो वाले क्वाड्रेंट में, ब्लाइंड क्वाड्रेंट में हॉरिजॉन्टली एक्सटेंड होता है. और इसका मकसद भी यही है कि आप जितना ज्यादा अपने बारे में सेल्फ अवेयर होंगे, अपने बारे में जानेंगे और उस नॉलेज को शेयर करेंगे विद इन द ग्रुप, उतना म्यूचुअल ट्रस्ट आपस में इंफॉर्मेशन शेयरिंग के थ्रू बढ़ेगा और वो ग्रुप जो है वो अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दे सकता है. और इवन द पर्सन विल ऑल्सो बेनिफिट डायरेक्टली बिकॉज ही विल इंक्रीज हिज सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. तो वो अपनी अवेयरनेस अपने बारे में और इम्प्रूव करेगा. So there's always an attempt to horizontally extend the open quadrant into the blind quadrant. That is the green quadrant into the yellow quadrant. तो blind quadrant जितना कम होगा उतना आपको अपने बारे में सेल्फ अवेयरनेस होगी उन एस्पेक्ट के बारे में जो इवन आपको भी नहीं मालूम, राइट? दूसरा ये होता है कि there are certain things that are only known to you. Now if you are able, if you want to gain the trust of other people, then the more people know about you, they will the trust will increase within the group. So people, अब आपके जो बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स होते हैं वो आपके बारे में सब कुछ जानते हैं, राइट? सो ये मॉडल बोलता है कि अगर आप इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर ज्यादा करते हो तो देन पीपल विल हैव मोर acceptance about you, they will be more aware about you, and it will result in mutual trust. So this you can do by vertically extending the open window into the hidden part. So here you can, tell people about yourself, and that will lead to, the more you tell about yourself, the other people will also tell about themselves, and it will lead to information exchange and mutual trust. लेकिन क्या होता है कि कुछ चीजें होती हैं जो हम अगर दूसरों को बताएं तो वो दे माइट बी काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव ऑल्सो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ सब पर्सन is having alcoholic problem, and if he and the other people are not aware, and he goes out and tells within an organizational setup, so that will have a negative impact. So one has to be very discretionary as to what one has to be told to other people. So there are certain things that one should keep it to oneself, like drinking problem, and there are certain things that people do not want to know about. So एक organizational setup में people are more concerned about things that are relevant to them professionally. And if people try and spread information about they're open to the extent that they spread information about themselves, which is irrelevant in the organizational setup, so that is not positively looked upon by other individuals, right? So in this way, the 4 quadrants are used: the one which is open, then the second one which is blind, and the third one which is hidden. So Johari's quadrant number 1. Johari's region number 1 is also known as the area of free activity. This is the information about the person or the behavior, or attitude or feeling, or emotions or knowledge or experiences, skills, etc., which are known by the person and known by the group. So the first quadrant है, which is also called as the open quadrant. इसमें जो एक व्यक्ति के behaviors, attitudes, feelings, emotions, knowledge, experience, वो होते हैं जो कि उसको भी मालूम है और बाकी लोगों को भी मालूम है कि इस व्यक्ति की पर्सनालिटी के बारे में. ये 1/3 वाला हिस्सा है क्योंकि हमने उसमें देखा था सेगमेंट थर्ड में, जो कि लोगों को भी दिखता है और व्यक्ति को भी सेल्फ अवेयर रहता है कि उसके अंदर ये है. सो इट इज कॉल्ड द ओपन एरिया or area of free activity. Now we come to quadrant number 2. Johari's region number 2 is known about that person by others, but is unknown by the person himself. तो ये जो blind वाला एरिया है, तो ये वो वाला सेकंड क्वाड्रेंट है जो बाकी लोगों को दिखता है पर उस व्यक्ति को अपने बारे में नहीं दिखता. इसमें वो एंगर इश्यूज आ सकते हैं, जो हो सकता है कि बाकी लोगों को दिखते हो उसकी पर्सनैलिटी में कि ये बहुत जल्दी टेम्पर लूज करता है. दूसरा कि some involuntary movement that person does when he's making a public presentation or a public interaction. A person makes some involuntary movements. Those are included in this, like not keeping the eye contact and all. So this is observable by other people, but the person he himself is not aware about this. So it comes under quadrant number 2. Quadrant number 3 is known as hidden. In this, there are attitudes, skills, feelings, and other things that were mentioned, which are known to a person but are hidden. He deliberately hides it from other people. So other people are not aware, but the person himself is aware. Right. So as I told you, somebody might be an alcoholic, and he knows this, but he doesn't tell it to anybody for the fear of creating a negative impact. So it will come under this category, which is called as hidden. Now, Johari is quadrant number 4. It contains information, feelings, talents or abilities or attitude or experiences that is unknown by the person and unknown by the group. तो इसमें वो चीजें आ जाती हैं, वो सारी skills, informations, feelings, attitudes और even aptitudes या experiences जो कि व्यक्ति को खुद भी अपने बारे में नहीं मालूम और ग्रुप को भी नहीं मालूम. तो ऐसी क्षमताएं जो हिडन टैलेंट्स होते हैं, हो सकता है उसको भी नहीं मालूम कि उसके अंदर ये सारे टैलेंट्स हैं, और हो सकता है वो सप्रेस्ड इमोशंस हो, सप्रेस्ड फीलिंग्स हो, सप्रेस्ड टैलेंट्स हो, which the person he himself is not aware or even the group is not aware. So you given the right opportunity, that comes out. So that comes under unknown quadrant for the quadrant number 4. So unknown factors, an ability that is underestimated or untried through the lack of opportunity, encouragement, या confidence. अब मान लीजिए कि a person can speak well, but he's avoiding, and maybe because he lacks confidence. And with training and with the right kind of exposure, somebody does a very good public speaking. So that is something which was prior to this was unknown to him and also to the group. So ऐसे untapped potentials or untapped या unknown feeling skills, वो सब इस कैटेगरी में आ जाते हैं कि वो जो उनको हो सकता है कि लैक ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी के कारण ना मिले हो, या फिर वो बचपन में किसी कारणवश सप्रेस हो गए हों और वो कभी उनके अंदर वो कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं रहा कि वो कभी कर सके, वो क्षमताएं डेवलप ही नहीं हुई, तो वो सब अननोन क्वाड्रेंट में आ जाते हैं. इट्स अ नेचुरल एबिलिटी और एप्टीट्यूड दैट पर्सन डजंट रियलाइज, तो आप इसके अंदर वो हनुमान जी वाला एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं कि हनुमान जी को भी अपनी क्षमताओं के बारे में नहीं मालूम था, तो फिर उनको जब रियलाइज कराया गया, है ना, जब उनको वो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली, जब लक्ष्मण जी उसमें रणभूमि में मूर्छित हो गए थे, तो उनको अपनी क्षमताओं का पता चला और फिर उसको यूटिलाइज किया और वो संजीवनी बूटी लेके आ गए. तो देयर वाज समथिंग दैट ही हिमसेल्फ वाज नॉट अवेयर एंड अदर पीपल वर आल्सो नॉट अवेयर कि ही कुड डू इट. That comes under unknown factors. So natural ability or aptitude that a person doesn't realize that they possess. तो ऐसे abilities और ऐसे talents जो aptitude होते हैं, वो एक व्यक्ति के अंदर होते हैं, पर वो lack of opportunity के कारण या lack of whatever reasons के कारण वो realize नहीं हो पाते, वो सब इसमें आते हैं. A fear or aversion that a person does not know that they have, a person discovers that uh, that he has aversion to, suppose somebody wants to be a medical doctor and later on realizes that he or she is not able to stand the sight of blood or even dissecting a cadaver. So that is something which is not known to that person or even to the group. So that comes under unknown factors, or an unknown illness that a person possesses, maybe, or repressed subconscious feeling a person has, which surfaces when the right conditions appear. So conditioned behavior attitudes from childhood, and maybe because of the childhood upbringing, those things are there. So this quadrant contains things that is unknown to the person as well as to the group. So now we come to the drawbacks or the criticism of Johari window. So इसमें क्या रहता है कि as we have seen from the diagram, everybody has to be open, so that inter-group communication improves and there is improvement in trust with each other. So here you try to extend the open quadrant, that is the green quadrant, into the yellow quadrant horizontally and also vertically. And you try to open up your hidden facts that are known to you only. So इसमें ये होता है कभी-कभी कि there are certain things that you might want to tell everybody, but people are not interested because that is not relevant. So and if you tell them, maybe that will be counterproductive. जैसे आपको एग्जांपल दिया कि कोई व्यक्ति ड्रिंकिंग करता है और just to increase openness, he tries to tell this to everybody in the office, then it will have a negative impact. अब कुछ ऐसे फैमिली इश्यूज भी होते हैं. if somebody is not getting along well with his spouse or his family and that person reveals it, first of all, there are two views of it. It might not be relevant to people who are listening to it, and secondly, it might also create a negative impression about that person. So how much is to be told is totally discretionary. What has to be brought in the domain of the public is very, very discretionary in nature. Some people cannot keep anything to themselves and they go about pushing everything on the social media. So that is also not very good. And then some people go about even telling the minutest details about their life. So people might not want to know about this in the first place, because in an organizational setup, people are very, very professional. So this is the first criticism about Johari's window model. Some things are perhaps better not to be communicated, like a hidden disease or mental health problem. If somebody is having some hidden disease, which if told to the public at large in the organization might be counterproductive. So there are certain things which are better to be told to people. Then some people may pass the information that they receive further than they desire. तो वो information जो आप अपने किसी कलीग को दे, वो हो सकता है कि वो आपके अगेंस्ट में यूज कर ले और उसको एक वीकनेस के तौर पे दूसरों को बताए. So how that information is used by the other person is also another issue. So not everything has to be told to everybody. Like you have a medical condition, or there's a family issue, or there's a habit which you should not reveal to other people. So if you reveal that to people, which comes in the hidden quadrant, and if you do that, it will have a negative impact on your perception as an employee. So these things have to be better avoided. Some people may react negatively. So you might be telling them about yourself, but then other people might take it negatively and they will have a negative image about you. So it will all be counterproductive. So you have to be very cautious as to what you have to say. And this is one of the drawbacks of Johari window. Using Johari window is useless exercise if it is not linked to the activities that reinforce positive behavior or the correct or negative behavior. For example, if you take a feedback from the group about your personality and you try to extend the open quadrant into the unaware quadrant, right? Into the blind quadrant, and the person who's giving you the feedback happens to be biased, then this might be counterproductive. तो आपको अगर अपने जो blind spot वाले quadrant को improve करना है, so you need to have people who will give you the right kind of feedback. So if their feedback is biased in nature, or if their feedback is given with something called as a reprisal or a demeaning attitude, then it might be counterproductive. And in such scenario, the Johari window will be useless exercise. So if it is Johari window का जो implementation है, वो ultimately group में पॉजिटिव बिहेवियर को लेके आने का है ना, और नेगेटिव बिहेवियर को करेक्ट करने का है. इसके अंदर तभी हम लोग कर सकते हैं जबकि एटीट्यूड्स एकदम पॉजिटिव हो. करने का जो मकसद है ना, वो एकदम पॉजिटिव होना चाहिए. अगर वो नेगेटिव रहेगा तो हो सकता है कि ये पूरी एक्सरसाइज यूजलेस हो जाए. तो सम कल्चर, अब दूसरा एक और क्या है कि कल्चरल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अगर देखा जाए तो सम कल्चर्स आर नॉट वेरी ओपन एंड एक्सेप्टिंग अप्रोच to feedback doesn't, I mean, in some cultures you cannot talk about everything and anything because they're not very open, they're conservative cultures. तो वहां पर ये जोहारी विंडो वाली एक्सरसाइज है वो यूजलेस हो जाएगी कि अगर वो कल्चरल एस्पेक्ट्स ही नहीं है, एक्सेप्टेंस ही नहीं है कि आप ओपनली अपने बारे में सारी सीक्रेट्स डिस्कस कर सके, या देयर आर सर्टेन टैबूज दैट आर नॉट टू बी डिस्कस्ड ओपनली in certain cultures. So if you break those taboos, that they might not be taken as positively by the group. So in that situation also the Johari windows implementation becomes useless. And some people take personal feedback offensively. So not everybody reacts to feedback in a positive manner, as we have seen in group discussions. अपने group discussions में देखा होगा कि आप अगर किसी को criticize करो तो some people will be offended. They don't react to your feedback in a positive manner. तो व्यक्ति की पर्सनैलिटी पे भी डिपेंड करता है कि वो फीडबैक को वो कैसे लेता है. क्या वो फीडबैक को पॉजिटिवली लेते हैं, क्या वो फीडबैक को नेगेटिवली लेते हैं. तो अगर वो अपने फीडबैक को, जो कि ब्लाइंड स्पॉट के बारे में, जो कि सेकंड क्वाड्रेंट है, अगर वो नेगेटिवली लेंगे तो ये पूरी एक्सरसाइज जो है जोहारी विंडो की, जिसमें कि सेल्फ अवेयरनेस होता है और ग्रुप के अंदर इंटर ग्रुप ट्रांजैक्शंस इंप्रूव करने के लिए होता है, पॉजिटिव बिहेवियर को इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए होता है, नेगेटिव बिहेवियर को करेक्ट करने के लिए होता है, तो ये पूरी एक्सरसाइज जो है वो यूजलेस हो जाएगी. If people react negatively to the neutral feedback that you give them about yourself, because it happens to come under the blind quadrant, so then the whole exercise becomes useless. तो ये कुछ drawbacks हैं जोहारी विंडो के. Otherwise, the window in itself is a very good attempt to make a person realize about himself, about being self-aware. So if you you can, if you look it up in your uh, MBA course, so the feedback, if it is given by your teachers about you during your presentations and during your assessments, and if you take them positively, then maybe you will come to know about a personality of yours that comes under the blind category. And then if there are certain fears that you are hiding from your teachers or even from your doctors, if you share it, then maybe they'll give you a remedy for it. And maybe given the right situations, you will come up with some talents that were previously unknown to you, because you never got the opportunities. So that will come under the red quadrant. And if given the right kind of opportunities, you might come with certain talents or capabilities which were so far unknown to you. So this is a very practical model, and it's used in organization for creating self-awareness and positive promoting positive interactions among the group members. So today we've had a look at what transaction analysis is, how people behave with each other, how people transact with each other, and a model of self-awareness which is called as Joe Harry window, in which people become aware about themselves, and it promotes positive group behavior by promoting mutual trust and understanding by sharing information. So that's about it for today. All the best. Thank you.